Good afternoon. We are living in no evil times, and I am running for president. Matt 2024. MAT 2024. If elected, I will make W one syllable. I'm partial to woo, but you can pick your favorite vowel sound. And in the previous video, I discussed 7 topics I deemed of great import to the nation, and in this I will discuss the Electoral College. My notion is to just get rid of it, but short of that, fix the Permanent Apportionment Act of 1929 to even out the number of people each representative represents. And you will see how those two go together further down the line here. First, a little history. The founders established the Electoral College in the Constitution in part as a compromise between the election of the president by a vote in Congress and the election of the president by a popular vote of qualified citizens. That line came from a site I pulled off a search using the words Electoral College history. I don't want to go in depth here. I want to examine how it works and why it is unfair to a majority of Americans, regardless of the founders' original intentions. A majority of Americans would like to see it gone, and I'm among them. Again, Electoral College history, do a search if you want to know more, and it will tell you why it was created beyond the line that I already gave you, and it will tell you, well, just go look. You'll broaden your horizons. Now, we don't actually vote for the president, we vote for electors, and those electors generally will cast their state's votes for the candidate that got the popular vote. I say generally because they don't always. You can see complications already starting to creep in. The number of electors is equal to the number of congressfolk that state has. If it has 2 senators and 1 representative, it has 3 electors. Since every state, regardless of population, has 2 senators, the Electoral College makes residents of less populated states have more powerful votes. Another complication. As if that weren't bad enough, it gets much worse. Originally, per the Constitution, every 30,000 residents in a state got 1 representative. So basically, the Senate was designed to give states an equal voice, while the House was designed to give the people, that is, individuals, an equal voice. Now, this evened the voter playing field somewhat, but Congress had to dabble and make things worse. As the population grew and the number of House members grew until it became apparent there would be too damned many to even fit in the chamber, so given they were required to reapportion the number of representatives after every census, they created the Permanent Apportionment Act of 1929, capping the number at 435, which meant they would just shuffle that number as the population grew and folks migrated. Just to put that in perspective, if there were 2 states and one state had 10 residents while the other had 1 million, the first state would get 1 representative while the other would get 434, meaning the one state would have a representative for every 10 residents, while the other would have a representative for every 2,304. Goodbye even playing field. The biggest complication yet. Given the short-sightedness of the 1929 Act and how it is unconstitutional, it should be struck down and replaced with a constitutional amendment. My suggestion would be one representative for every 800,000 residents, which would give us about 400 reps total. And that number could grow as we have more people. That is, the 400 reps number could grow as we have more people. Now, I haven't researched the latest census, but any of my billion viewers can look it up, do the math, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But fixing representatives is only a patch concerning the Electoral College. There is a rule of thumb in engineering: the less moving parts, the better. The Electoral College has a lot of moving parts, and somewhere the unfairness is built in. That is, some where the unfairness is built in, and some that can be exploited to destroy democracy in this country, as was tried last election. We need Congressfolk dedicated to starting the process of making an amendment that eliminates the Electoral College, which means we need the majority of Americans who want it gone to demand this. A loud minority is noisy. A loud majority is deafening. It's time to give our Congressfolk some hearing loss. Well, that's all I got. But remember, growth is rebellion. They want you to stay small. In order for them to succeed, they need your complicity. So vote for me, or vote LP, or vote third party. Expand democracy in the least democratic democracy in the world. You don't have to hold your nose and vote for the lesser of two evils. There are almost always other choices. So, one last thing. Learn to prep. When TSHTF, the government will not be there to help. They'll be in their bunkers, nice and safe and warm and well fed, and we'll be out here forming a new government. All right. I thank you for watching. And if you didn't watch, well, what's wrong with you, man? Talk to you soon.